Welcome back to the bunker. I'm Jason, your host, and we're going to go over my portfolio because I put on a couple new positions today, and there's one annoying thing with a small account, and I want to go over that today because it would have been a profitable trade or more profitable trade today if I was able to do what I wanted to do. So let's get into it. Thanks for joining. Alrighty then. Let's go, Liz. You want to start with the dashboard today? Okay, everybody voted yes, so let's go check it out. So I closed a couple positions today. One NXT, which was ahead of earnings, closed it for a profit. Not as much as I wanted, but beggars can't be choosers, and greed is not a good way to trade. So got rose our account balance back up by about 100. Um, Also, I got stopped out on Q Qualcomm, CQ Qualcomm. So that trade was profitable. It pulled back around where I had my stop loss this morning when the market went down, but of course we bounced, which was kind of cool, almost to the level I talked about yesterday. That was kind of neat. Win rate still above 60. That's great. Average win is catching up with our average loss, which is really cool. I like to see that. I think the more equity trades I take, the more opportunity there will be for a larger profit because most of the credit spreads, only pull, you know, we may sell them for $100.50, but we only collect 50% of that on the long ones, and usually the short ones are only like 50 cents or $50 if we hold them to term. So, that kind of deflates our win per average per win, but like I said, it's profitable, and our profit factor is for every $1 we lose, we make $1.30, which is profitable. On our total account, we're at 8% return so far for the year. We're almost halfway through. I mean, if we make that, that's as good as any other ETF that you're putting it in, and it's more fun. At least I think so. But I think we're just a little off the pace of what I'm shooting for, and I'll show you that in a second. Our day trades, like I said, once again, are about 75. It would have been higher today if I'd have got to do what I wanted to do, but we'll get into that. So how far are we off the pace? So we're on May 12th. So we should be into this week. This is the number we would be. Our goal would be 1,560. So we're about $500 off. Let's say we should be at 1,400. But I've had a couple losers, which is going to happen. This is a sustained and not well. Really, it's an unsustainable number because it's a constant income weekly, and really that's not feasible. You're going to have ebbs and flows of your portfolio and the market, and you've got to expect your P&L to match that. But hopefully you stay consistent with your strategy and curve out you'd actually chop off the highs and chop off the lows and stay right there in the middle. So hopefully by the end of the year, we should be around our goal. At least that's the plan. All right, let's go ahead and get into the portfolio and see how we're doing. How about that? So that's my transaction page. Let's do just today. What today hooks today? Today I made a couple trades. Like you see up here, 8. But I'm at the 3-day trade counter, which is the bugaboo. Yesterday I had to put on a second position on my Qualcomm daily at the proper level, the second trade, and closed them both out for that profit because I was antsy on the first entry, and that used up 2 of my day trade counters, sadly. So today, when I saw the whole market going down, I had already talked about it last night that I was tracking that, thinking we were going to see a pullback today. And let's see, this is the 4-hour. So you can see this is my marked out of the high and low of the previous day, and we tested it real quick and then we pulled down. So I wanted to see how far we would go, and I put on a call credit spread um, way up here, hopefully to hold it to the end of next week. I think it was a bi-weekly, but it's up at 305, I think, for the short call, or yeah, the short call. Oh, 293 and 297. This thing was up 80% today, so we were up, and I put three of them on. Um, we were up probably, well, three times this. So we were up 120 bucks, and I would have loved to take that off, but then I would have got flagged as a pattern day trader, and then I would have not been able to open a new trade in my margin account until I had over 25K in the account. And that's under the current rules. I know that they're supposed to be changing next month. I don't know how Tasty's going to handle that. I know I've looked at Webull and how they're going to handle it. It's going to be risk based, so I'm sure there's some development on the backside that's going to change those rule settings that are in Tasty. So I don't know how long after that they're going to have that implemented, but we'll see. But if it was risk based, since these were fixed risk trades, it should I should have been able to close that and not been penalized. And having a small account over as long as I've had it, that has always been a problem. There are times when I make a trade and couldn't get out of it because, well, you should have still get out of it, but I couldn't get out of it like I wanted to, and wind up being a pattern day trader. And then I had to close the account and then wait, well, at the time, Tasty quit letting you reset the account. So yeah, I had to close the account altogether, move my money over to Webull, and then trade there for a while. And then if I run into the same problem, but I've managed my trades better, so I don't have that problem. But it's always a problem. I have to move things back and forth just to be able to trade. And of course, yes, I know people probably in the comments, if you use the cash account, you don't have to worry about that. And that's true. What you have to worry about with the cash account is once you close it, there's a 3-day window where it takes for the money to clear. And so that can be a problem if an opportunity presents itself and you've used all of your funds for that trading day. You won't be able to trade for 2 days. It's very cumbersome. So I'm glad that they're finally, after all these years, revisiting the pattern day trading rule, and hopefully it'll be favorable for us in the long term. But anyway, like I said, we did rebound back almost the entire move down, and that just shows you the bulls are still in the area. If we look at what's the expected move, we were way down here. Now we're kind of in the Death Blossom range. 5 points, if you can know where that movie's quote's from. Leave it in the comments. That would be funny. But we still got almost 75% chance, 85% chance to still collect full on this one. I most likely, since I took 3 out, I may take, if we get back over 50 tomorrow, I may take half of that off and then just let the one ride. But I think we might see some more downside before we see more upside. Airbnb, that one, as soon as I put this one on, we talked about it yesterday, it went south on me. I mean, what have I been in it? 5 days. So if we go back and look, 5 days. So this is today, 2, 3, 4. Like right as soon as I went this on, we went up, we went down, and we've gone down ever since. We got to see this one get back over 140, wasn't it? Right? Yeah, 140 for us to collect full on that one. I've got 3 days left on it. Keep our fingers crossed, but most likely we'll watch this one if we get around 2x of what I sold it for, which was 73. So right now we're at 2x. We get to 3x, which would be 210. I'll probably close this trade and then flip it over to side B of my wheel strategy for my put credit spreads, and then we'll start 6 months out. We'll buy a call and then we'll sell calls at the 140 in the short term until we get back over 140. Then I'll close that back out, flip it, and start selling put credit spreads once again. AMD, this one, did I put that one on today? I believe I put this one on today. We were seeing my shape, as I mentioned before. I've got our Darvas box setting up pretty good. Semiconductors pretty good. I closed out the Qualcomm, got stopped out today, and as soon as we bounced and started moving back up in the market, I went ahead and put this one on at the very bottom of it, which was the support from last week, which was the high of last week. So we showed some resilience there. So when I put it on out of my 22 delta down here. Hopefully we'll get a swing up and we'll be able to get some profits out of that one. That was a bi-weekly. What did I sell that one for? 45. That's kind of weak. Anyway, Oracle is one of my monthly, and would we pull back today like everything else? Yeah, we pulled back today and we kind of bounced back, but as long as we stay over, I put this one on a while back. We don't have earnings for till the end of the month. I've got should be out of this one. Usually the tasty mechanics is you manage this at 21 days. So if we get over 5%, we'll take this one off. We're at 22 right now. A little push higher might get us around that by the end of the week, and we'll take that off for a profit. Palantir, I think I saw an upswing today on the Palantir. Yeah, it stayed flat, as you could see, so it showed strength as the market was going down, and then it rose up as the market went up. Now it kind of sold back off because there's got to be a big seller here somewhere right around in this area. So somebody is dumping shares. Once that gets cleared out, I think Palantir is going to start moving back higher to that 150. We'll see. Tilray, I'm not even going to talk about. I did roll it out in time quite a bit till the end of basically when I have that call, just to get it off the board and not have to worry about it again. So we'll just see how that one goes. I got assigned shares finally on my General Mills position. I've been thinking this is going to happen eventually, and it wound up did. So I've got essentially got it purchased at $37.50, and the calls weren't worth it to sell a call against it. I think when I was looking at selling calls in the near term, it was like 30 cents. And that's if I did it at the money. No. Well, it looks better today. Where is that, the money? It's up there. There we go. No, it's right there. There's no way that's right. It looks right. When I looked at it this morning, it was 30 cents, even for a whole month, which I thought was crazy. So maybe the table wasn't updated. So it looks like $2 now. If we get around $2, I might sell a call against that. Actually, you probably want to sell it down here. I'm thinking wrong. That's for put the upside. So yeah, see, there you are. It was around 30 cents. So you're supposed to sell it for what you got it at least, so you don't lose money based on the trade. So if I put it here, I could collect more credit, but there's a lag between where I own the shares and where I don't. I would eat that $2.50 or $250 as a loss. And I really would prefer not to do that. I just write out the shares and see how we go. So anyway, so that's essentially the same as what if I did the put credit spread and bought the call and then would sell it in the interim. Where I bought it at or where I shorted it at, that's where I would be selling the call. So that's the call I need to sell, and it's only 30 cents. Now 30 cents is 30 cents. I'll think about it. If it was a weekly and 30 cents, maybe, but 30 cents for an entire 37 days, that's really not financially worth it, I think, is it, for the risk you're taking on. IGV, that is our software, with Palantir holding strong. It pulled back like everything did. We didn't get much of a bounce, so we kind of stayed sideways. As long as we stay over 88 and move forward, I'm happy with that position. We'll see. That's I think, let's see. Yeah, we're over the 200. We'll see. We'll see on that one. Like I said, that's my bank. When I make my profits, I bank them, and at the end of the month, BG was in the above, but we sold off today, so it's been trading sideways since we put that one on. Still waiting on that one to move. And Nvidia, now I put this one on today. I went ahead and bought 5 shares, kind of at the lows. When we pulled back, I started seeing some strength. I went ahead and put on 5 shares on that one, and I've got an alert set for Nvidia 225, and we almost got there. And I'll add shares if we get over that. And that's about it. So I have 5 technology in. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of those. Oh yeah, this is software. I counted the IGV as software as technology. So I've got my 5 technology sector positions. I did look at this one, Airbnb. It wasn't one of the sectors that's been moving. So I should have factored that in when I was picking it. Even though it had bullish order flow, it had the setup that I'm looking for. I missed criteria too. Is that sector moving in the same direction as the market? And it was not. So that's something to keep in mind when you're scanning for new stocks. And if you want to see, I'll reference it in the video. But I have a whole system scan that I did a video on over the weekend that will show you how I scan for stocks, and you'll be able to watch that video if you want, and I'll link it right here, and you should be good to go, or right there. And now try it. Nope, it's going to be over here. So I'll put it in the link right here, and you can watch that. And when you do your scan, just remember, we're looking for the sectors that are moving. We're looking what direction the market's going to be moving. We're looking what sectors are moving with the market. And then when we do run that scan, you want to make sure that you look at stocks that are actually moving that, so they've got flow in the direction we're looking for. But anyway, just a quick one tonight. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and take care now. Bye bye then. See you tomorrow.